Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss that fact, taking big.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back for week number 4 of the ECAC Top 8 Plays of the Week. Now, at this point, you're probably realizing two things. One, that's right, I'm going to be with you all season long as we jump through the best moments of every week. And number 2, wow, Septilence really only wears one thing when he's not on the clock. And I can't even defend myself, it's a comfortable outfit. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into week number 4 and see what these players brought to the table to beat out their opponents and be victorious. Wake Forest was already up a game, there were 4 minutes left on the clock, and they just couldn't find that first point to take the lead and put them up 2-0 in the series. But in a final moment of success, Malone clears it from one coast to another and finds an open goal, giving Wake Forest the lead once again.
These Champ 3 and Champ 2 is doing. I mean, seriously, look at Malone making advantages for himself.
Wow.
And he will put Wake Forest on the map. This game number 5 could just go their way.
I just want to say Malone just said, I'm going to show you what a Champ 3 can do. All right, buddy?
On a control map in Overwatch, your team must capture 100% of a point to succeed. 99 just won't cut it. King Rock from Keene University was fully aware of that and didn't just find a Death Blossom. He found a full-blown Death Garden to keep his team alive.
Sound barrier to go away as well, especially now that you have your own. It's going to be a little bit more breathing room. Doesn't look like the one. Okay, there we are. Now it's coming up big. This Reaper has bloomed.
That was just gorgeous amount of patience coming.
GVSU Blue found themselves up by 5 rounds, and it's always better to turn that 5 into a 6. It's incredible, however, that this team doesn't always need all 5. It can come down to just one player and how much they can really GVS do.
An Illusion delivers with efficiency. 3 in a row. No time left, even if they had the chance at Orbital Strike out of the last.
This battle between Muskingum and St. Francis was insanely close. Only 3 players in a round, and there were 1 player left on both sides, both down to their final stock. Things were looking pretty strong for St. Francis, their Luigi only at 40%, but it was up to Splat to do anything but.
Just keep him off stage with that Zare. Oh,
if
that spot right here for Teo.
If that block didn't disappear,
oh
no way!
Oh, just steps on the
pressure plate.
A tale as old as time, Pace White versus Pace Gold, and Pace White's morale was through the roof as they won a fight, but little did they know, this was Lofi's world, and they wouldn't be living in it for much longer.
Going in with the blade.
Blade is out. It's hacked. It doesn't matter, though. Slashes away for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Looking for 4. Won't get it just yet on the Blade. However, the slash and dash works out. Lofi's got 3. Looking for everybody else on this team. It's a White.
The Inkling versus Ganondorf matchup is not very good for Ganondorf, but let's be honest, which matchups are? In this clip, we're going to be watching as JD from Fisher learns the hard way that you never really want to meet an Inkling off stage.
Sooner if you don't find that kill confirm or that kill or a bomb off stage like that.
That bomb angle
is so good today.
Yeah, that bomb angle was beautiful.
Week 4 of ECAC Rocket League was absolutely insane. CMU and FC were tied up 0-0, but it was Gand who told FC they shall not pass game number 2.
Side of FC, they've only got 1 player for a moment there. They're trying to recollect, they're trying to reposition, but how do you position around a pinpoint accurate shot like this? Gand goes crossbar down for the first goal.
Adams in reverse backed the defense off with that.
Whenever I'm on the mic for Valorant, you'll often hear the line, check your corners, repeated over and over and over again. And even with me not on the mic to tell them, I have a feeling this team may have learned that lesson.
Nah, he's got to take the shot.
Take it.
Oh yeah, just sounds of teammates running on through and come on dive. the 4K on a completely unaware trio. And it's 11-0 right now.
And those are the top 8 moments we thought deserved just a little bit more time in the spotlight of week number 4 here at ECAC. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're interested in what ECAC has going on, we got something happening nearly every day of the week. So check us out right here. Editor, that's a challenge for you. Wink, wink. And folks, this has been all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Enjoy this, and we've got plenty of weeks down the line. Can't wait to see what comes of them.
And there's so many other jobs as well that can translate out of this experience in esports. The only path is not just as a player. I think all of us are representative of jobs in esports, but it mirrors traditional sports in pretty much the same way. You've got, you know, broadcasters, you've got production people, you've got marketing and sales, and now NIL and things like that. But really, esports is kind of a great accelerator for a lot of new businesses that are coming up in the metaverse and Web3, and there's a lot of new technology that is going to be needed. And so these STEM students that are also esports athletes are really the future workforce and leaders of tomorrow. And you know, us as well as all of our brand partners that we work with really recognize this. And I think that's really, you know, a key driver of why brands are in this space. They want to be part of building that future workforce and leadership and shaping it and supporting it. So, yeah, it's been a very interesting space to watch.
And we offer such a big, we offer such a big counterpart to traditional sports also, because it's a counterpart, but it's also the same, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're traditional sports and they're done after their 2-a-day workout and they're done after their practice scrim, they're coming home to play Call of Duty and relax and put their feet up and get a drink and play video games. It grows their brain, problem-solving skills, and their hand-eye coordination while they're home. Hand-eye coordination, if you're a football player, massive skill. So it helps build those things while they're off the field. And then for us, vice versa, if you're an esports athlete, one of the errors I had growing up when I was competing in esports is that I was not active enough. I played sports, I competed a little bit, but I wasn't active enough truly when I look at it. So that's one area that esports players can learn from in terms of activity and physical and the marrying of both. People say, oh, sports and esports, video games. Not really. We're just kind of the tech industry's competitive form of competition, as to where traditional sports are more physical, hands-on. So I believe in the marrying of these two sectors and that they actually live together while also being counterparts.
Well, I think then to speak to something about marrying, right, from traditional to esports, that to me speaks to this whole new thing, at least again from you guys, right? You guys have more traditional sports background, right? Paulie, Mike, and all of that. But I think let's talk NIL then, because I think that's something that I think is really interesting, that at least when I heard about it, right, of what we're trying to do with, you know, esports athletes, schools, programs in general, because it wasn't something you would think normally, right? You could understand, right, football player on the field, star quarterback, it makes sense, right? The guy is somebody that everybody knows on campus, whether you're on the team, off the team, or you're just going to the school, it makes sense. But I think, you know, nowadays it's not as common, or people don't think that they could be somebody that their name is out there, right? Or that they're known, right? As we're growing the space, as we're putting this together, it almost feels really interesting that, you know, your star entry in Valorant, or your star forward on Rocket League, right? Whatever the case might be, now they can have NIL deals. It's a thing out there, and I think, I don't know, maybe Mike, you want to start off, but
I think thank you for teeing that up. So I was talking for too long. I forgot to bring NIL into the mix. So it's a common occurrence, occupational hazard. So I would say that so NIL for I'm sure most of you watching understand what it is, but NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. Name, image, and likeness, that term has been utilized to describe the transition of traditional student athletes, NCAA athletes, and their ability to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It went live July 1st, 2021, and it has continued over the course of the last 14 years.
We're at the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Let's make some noise.
Oh, and it's gonna jumped into it. Corner judge is good for 1, 2. Yeah, he needs more. They're doing even more here. You gotta touch the point. Mr. College walks it in.
Toy Boy just gonna drop.
Knife him.
Right out in front.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, running.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ECAC Super Smash Brothers here at Esports U. I'm Combo, joined here by the wonderful Miles. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Combo. It is the second week of the ECAC season, and so far, things are looking pretty good, and we get a pretty nice sampler from last season's playoffs here. We saw Juniata, one of our first contender of the night, come in early in the playoffs last year. I believe they won their set, but they didn't make it all the way. We do know who made it all the way, though, because Northwood was our runner-up last year. Second place, making some crazy upsets. And by the way, the first team I've ever seen to take games off of Fisher College. Northwood put up an insane performance in the finals last year, and I'm excited to see what they're doing here against Juniata.
Yeah, we got some strong contenders, as you said, right? Both teams here in playoffs trying to make a big run. Northwood especially, runner-up is a huge, huge thing to try and follow up for the next season, because you already know, right? If you can make second, that potential for first is so strongly there. The drive's got to be there, too. I'm so excited to see. Honestly, pretty crazy that, these two teams get to face off so early on in the season. Because I imagine that they're both going to try and make it as far as they can later on, reaching those playoff stages and brackets and whatnot. We might be seeing a rematch later on. So this match right here, these early matches are kind of set the tone for what we can expect coming very soon.
Yeah, and looking to what they're bringing to the table here, we're seeing some of their varsity, some of their JV roster from Northwood. Opening up, actually, we do have Big Higgs the Jigs, Eric Higgins. Over in Michigan, he's taken a couple of sets. I mean, I've seen games taken off of players like Lucy, the Rob player, famously amazing at doubles. And overall, just very consistent performances. I'm not shocked that you would send Jigs to open, simply because of the fact that Jigglypuff, if she wants to, can live a really long time, shockingly long time, if you don't have a pitch perfect combo game against that floaty, and that lets you gather a lot of information or just win the set outright. But if you don't win the set outright, you can gather a lot of information going forward.
I see it. I would normally think that, okay, this character is really light, kind of small, and I feel might have some polarizing matchups, so sometimes opening with them can be kind of risky, but I do see the potential in living for a really long time and trying to kind of abuse matchup unfamiliarity, because Jigglypuff is not necessarily a character a lot of people are set or prepared to practice against, just because, relatively uncommon, not considered to be super great, but honestly makes a lot of waves in Ultimate, surprisingly. Gotta definitely be looking out for this character, so excited to see how the Jigglypuff opener is going to work in Big Hig's favor this time around, and of course for the rest of the team.
I do see a lot of characters who have frighteningly big hitboxes, very scary hitboxes, and burst potential in just how fast their jump speed is. Like, vertical burst is something that isn't really talked about a lot, but if your character can really hybrid, and that can be brutal. And we're starting off with the Ridley versus the Jigglypuff here and trying to play grounded, but immediately Big Higgs gets in there, gets the fourth throw off stage, but knows not to contest that recovery.
Do not want to be messing with Ridley off stage. And again, this is kind of one of those characters, in general with Jigglypuff, you don't want to have a super strong combo game as your way to kind of answer this character. This is more of the, one hit, one big tap, and this character is going to die kind of early. And I think Ridley is kind of a nice in-between of the two, but does put himself in a position of being a much bigger body compared to Jigglypuff, where his hitbox can be a lot harder to land, and Jigglypuff kind of gets more free hits than you'd kind of want to be getting hit by.
Ooh, some stray nairs in neutral. You see Holo fighting the way back into this one now.
Yeah, the classic
ledge, but
back air spacing has been a little rough here for really to deal with. That big body has been a struggle. There's the up smash at ledge. You get a rising fair for the punish. Nice down tilt. Trying to catch an air dodge, doesn't quite get it. I would consider Jigglypuff to be like very close to kill percent here though. Not to mention that the rage is stacking here up on Ridley too. One strong solid back air at ledge, and this is Ridley's stock easily. So we'll just have to see. This is very, very dangerous. There's a dash attack. Jigglypuff is sent flying.
Yeah, here in an edge trapping situation, Big Higgs knows that one hit at the ledge would be dead, but one hit across the stage, they're more or less fine. So they get to the other side, get the tech chase, get the dash attack, and that's going to be Big Higgs with the first stock, and they open it up immediately with a pound into the down air. Did this go all the way? No, misreads which way they're sending them.
Still a strong 37% to open. There's a dash attack in response. Ridley's going to take that stock as well. Not too far behind. But man, Jigglypuff is eating up Ridley as combo food right now. This has been a little tough for Holo to really get his grounding. It seems like it's a lot of stray hits while Jigglypuff has been wailing on him. Oh, there's the really air dodge. Still not going to be enough for Ridley to recover. Now it's an almost entire stock lead here for Northwood. This is looking pretty good for Big Higgs right now.
Ooh, confidence right there from Holo, reading that air dodge in, but doesn't get a huge punish off of it. That air momentum is so hard to contend with as Big Higgs is back to the other side of the stage, staying outside this burst range, knowing that Holo has more range than them, but abusing how plus on shield they are after that pound to get the dare loops going. Down air, fair, into a tech chase, and they wait for the roll in, and that's going to be it for the game one. Big Higgs taking it over Holo with 2 stocks still in the bank.
That last segment was absolutely incredible. It's like Big Higgs knew Holo's heartbeat. Literally every single movement that Holo was trying to pull out. Perfect read here from Big Higgs, all the way culminating into a climactic arrest to put everything to an end. That was absolutely incredible. Great start show off there from Big Higgs. Holland played well too. I think there's a lot of potential in the Ridley Jigglypuff matchup specifically. I'm not sure if they knew that Jigglypuff was going to open or not, but I think Ridley's a matchup I think is pretty playable in this case. But man, it really just seemed like Holo was getting hit by almost everything that Jigglypuff was throwing. Whether it's off stage or on stage, Holo could not deal with his own size with Ridley, and Jigglypuff got a lot of free hits back and forth. And ultimately, Big Higgs is going to move on here with 2 stocks. Now the question then becomes, how are we approaching Jigglypuff from here on, right? Because I feel like Jigglypuff is one of those more easily counter-pickable characters. If you've got nice disjoints or if you're really fast, good airspeed, and like a very solid recovery that's hard to gimp, I feel like a lot of Jigglypuff's strengths and ability to abuse other characters kind of goes out the window. So for example, I like Lucina. I think, her up B is really nice. Just go straight down vertically, up B up, back to stage, right? Disjointing, spacing. She has decent speed on the ground as well. I think she'd be all right. That's just a, open example. I'm not really sure what Juniata wants to kind of answer here with. I think Jigglypuff stares you down a little bit, and you kind of look at it funny because you don't really know how to answer it.
Yeah, Jigglypuff, I mean, her players are ravenous. Even though at the highest level she doesn't have that much representation, at around the mid levels there is a plethora, a cornucopia of Jigglypuff players all around the world, and they have found ways to edgeguard most characters. Like, for example, seeing Big Higgs go out there and contest Ridley, just knocking him right out of that side B, Holo could not do anything except go super low. And of course, Big Higgs knew that they couldn't contest that, so anytime they saw them go low, they would always be right there at the ledge to get the ledge trap. And that's why Big Higgs was living so long. They were holding Holo at the ledge like 70% of the time. And when the only risk you really have is maybe being hit across the stage, you can easily live to like 120%.
Yep. Very smart utilization of player strengths and character interactions that gives Big Higgs that really solid advantage. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes next.
If I could give one thing to look out for in this next set, or next game rather, Big Higgs' use of soft nair to set up tech chases was crucial in that set. That's how they set up most of their edge guards. They would get soft nair into either a dash attack, or they would read the tech and get a forward air. Or, as you saw right there at the end, they were getting a feel for what Holo would do after that soft nair connected. And they just sat and waited and rested. And even if Holo doesn't roll in there, Big Higgs is still in position to dash in and try and get a dash attack or a grab or something.
Super great. Yeah, the soft nair did come in super clutch, actually. Now I'm thinking about it more. Also, approaching Dare on shield. I think Ridley was specifically struggling a lot with dealing with not a lot of super great instant out of shield options that Jigglypuff couldn't just drift away from. And the shield damage is actually like pretty strong. And eventually just clipping through shield anyways. Shield poke's going to happen. And then it's just free combo from Jigglypuff. We start seeing the Dare loops. But, ooh, looks like we might be looking at a Pokemon battle here since Mewtwo seems to be the next pick. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about this one. Mewtwo is also kind of one of those glass cannon characters where I think he has pretty decent burst options, but again, big body and also dies really quickly. I think the big body is going to be the big killer here in this matchup if this doesn't go in his favor. We're going to have to wait and see how maybe Mewtwo has some specific answers or matchup and how to deal with Jigglypuff. Projectile spacing might help a decent bit, but you do have to be very careful. Already off stage, looking for some gibbs. We got an early up B. Forward tilt's gonna miss. Jigglypuff's gonna recover to center stage. We got Dare loop starting. Here it is. There's the fair. Tries to get a jab on the ground. We get a spot dodge. Ooh, dash attack to get something big. Mewtwo's gonna try to reset here.
Yeah, Big Hig's suffocating them right now. Right now, Adam is trying to play under this platform, but Big Higgs doesn't take the bait, doesn't approach too far too fast. And here's the thing. Right now, easily Mewtwo kill percent right now. So light. There are so many setups that don't work on floaties, asterisk Mewtwo. Don't work on teleport recoveries, asterisk Mewtwo. And that's just the bane of this character's existence. And Big Higgs is playing into it a lot right now. Let's see if they can find any of their setups going into the kill.
Yeah, very patient game here from Big Higgs because Mewtwo does kind of have the range and spacing advantage as we see that forward tilt and the back are kind of monstrous compared to what Jigglypuff can put out. But oh no, went too deep, got pineappled here by Pokemon Stadium 2. That's an entire stock down. 3 stock lead for Northwood so far. Early pound into Dare. Pack air into another pound. Oh my goodness, almost equal percent. Catch the recovery with the Nair. And another. Nair at ledge is a classic for edge guarding.
Yeah, Nair at ledge will cover pretty much everything but roll. Maybe. As right here, this is actually Fry on the Mewtwo. Fry looking for some down tilts, knowing that you can pop Jigglypuff up into a quick forward air, quick death, because those moves are frighteningly strong, but you've got to land that starter first. And with how elusive they're being in this short hop range that Mewtwo is having trouble contesting, where is Fry going to get the kill?
Right, we see Fry sometimes fishing for up smash. Very strong move, but a hard commitment. Really scary. I think, again, on a character that's smaller and floatier like Jigglypuff, that they're not just going to fall into up smash like a lot of other characters might. Just makes it even harder to land that kill. I'm thinking maybe an up throw could potentially be in the cards somewhat soon. Seeing the percent rising to 122 here. Maybe he might just be fishing for the grab. Ooh, but that's only if he can actually grab something.
I like that. Big Higgs has just been ledge trapping all stage. All game finally goes for the edge guard, and you really can contest that teleport recovery, but you can't be caught rolling in like that, especially with a beautiful B reverse shadow ball to catch the ball away, but a straight back air, catching the jump towards the platform. Now it's even game.
Yep, out of shield push.
Invincibility.
Too scary, too scary. Oh, in, he's in. Forward throw, off stage, we got a pound. We got an early teleport.
That was smart.
Don't want to deal with it. Man, Mewtwo cannot approach with Nair against Jigglypuff. That is one thing that's been kind of tough in this matchup for Fry so far. While Mewtwo, like, Nair is generally a really strong on-shield option and try to run past. Jigglypuff is spacing early. Things like, oh my goodness. There's the up air into rest to close that out. And that's Big Higgs taking out 2 entire players. It's still 1 stock left. If you do the math, you're 1 stock to 3. This is all in Big Higgs' hands right now for Juniata. How are they going to respond to this?
This is a rough one right here. I see some answers on their roster, and I'll go into them for a minute. But right now, I just need to talk about Fry and the fact that Fry. It felt like it took some time to figure out that Jigglypuff. Once Jigglypuff commits off stage, it actually takes a while to get back to the ledge. Like, one of the big things that makes characters good at edge guarding is being able to get back to ledge and refresh very fast. Like, think Lucina. Lucina is really only good at edge guarding, not because of the disjoints, but because she can go really deep off stage and then instantly snap back to ledge. Jigglypuff, if she goes to the side of the screen, it's going to be a good, 2 seconds before she gets back there. So you saw Fry start to go for more aggressive teleports. Go straight onto stage, go straight to ledge, not even use their double jump, which, I mean, is generally good practice, but they were tripping up Big Hig's timing. The issue is that happened on last stock. And in the beginning, it was just Big Hig's ledge trapping and edge guarding and getting super aggressive off stage and not really fearing anything. Big Hig's kind of controlled the airspace right until the end where Fry found a loophole, but it was a little too late.
Yeah, throwback to when Big Higgs was able to catch Fry's get up 3 times with just Nair at ledge. Multiple different options, Nair at ledge. Still works every time.
Yep. Even get up attack sometimes. And of course, obviously, those dare loops are brutal on Mewtwo. Floaty character who's going to get popped up as 0 from them could easily be taking like 60 or 70 from Nair loops if executed perfectly. Asterisk right there.
I mean, we were seeing that though, up to like 55, 57 on a fresh stock, pretty much looped the percent almost instantly with one combo, right? Throwing the pound, dare, back air, another pound. That was like already about 50. It was crazy. Crazy fast.
And with preemptive aerials a lot of the time, Big Higgs was able to get out there off stage and really contest Fry. Like, usually a lot of characters don't like to go all the way out there against Mewtwo, simply because if you get clipped there, and this is the character that, pivoting, this right here is the character that I thought would have been an amazing counter pick. I believe this is Huggies on the Game & Watch.
All right.
Game & Watch more or less is not going to be edge guarded.
Yeah.
Is not going to be poked in shield. And is going to kill you randomly at 60 with a down smash. So, like...
Although I think Jigglypuff, of all characters, is at less risk of getting hit by a random down smash compared to a lot of others. So I think the killing might be the interesting case of this matchup, but it's also how Jigglypuff actually wants to approach this, right? Jigglypuff cannot just be throwing out aerials on shield, because we know Game & Watch has got that wonderful, beautiful up B that'll punish pretty much anything. And within neutral, Game & Watch is going to be winning through some disjoints and some farther ranges. Overall, this seems like very hard for Jigglypuff just to find a way in, but I can't necessarily see Game & Watch killing super easily either. So it becomes kind of this give and take of percent, and who really closes out is where this victory lies.
I mean, another thing you have to consider is there is something called the orb rule with Jigglypuff's down air to rest. The closer a character is to just a circle, the more down air rest works on them. Game & Watch is pretty circle-ish. So if you see those landing down airs, instead of rising down airs for combo, landing is for killing. And I've seen Big Higgs go for it twice because they're trying to get an early stock.
Oh, that was in a roll read, but we had an instant uppy to get out of that situation. Oh, there's the up smash as a punished aerial on shield. Yep. Wasn't even uppy at that point. Commit hard. That is not something I was super expecting to come out against Jigglypuff, but I guess it worked.
Yeah, I would not say that Game & Watch necessarily has an amazing offense against Jigglypuff. It's just that Big Higgs has no... Sorry, every time we go back into the lobby, I hear the first 4 notes of Megalovania. It messes with me every time.
Yeah.
But I would not say that, again, it's a super specific counter, but Jigglypuff just can't really do anything against Game & Watch.
Yeah,
like,
this is a neutral issue.
Yeah, if you don't want to play the game, you don't have to.
True enough. Game & Watch can sit back and space, nairs and forward airs as much as he wants, and Jigglypuff just cannot approach. Game & Watch is also super slippery on his own end, so Jigglypuff can't really super trap him into those kind of get-up situations or like the kind of free-flowing combos that you would like against the bigger characters. This seems like a... now understanding the match a little more and seeing how it's played out, I can definitely see how Game & Watch is considered to be a strong counter pick here up against Jigglypuff. I was a little bit worried about the killing, and I completely forgot about up smash and its armor and its fantastic anti-air properties and how Jigglypuff is pretty much an entirely aerial character. I think my mind got tripped up on the down smash a little too much there. Guess you gotta go up too.
And also, the way Big Higgs was playing, they weren't necessarily always just spacing aerials on shield, like spacing and drifting back. They were always going for these like drive-by cross-ups.
Yeah.
And for the most characters, that works out really well because Jigglypuff is the highest aerial acceleration in the game.
True.
But Game & Watch, you can't get away with that. Like,
nope.
If you're trying to get those very slow cross-ups, he's just going to up B you or up smash you, as you saw there. If it's a really light hit, like a soft fair on shield, that's got to be like you got to be in a world of hurt right there.
Yeah, like especially super early on in the distance, like it almost didn't even seem like it was gonna be a cross it. It feels like Jigglypuff might have just landed in front of the Game & Watch right there anyway. So getting that hit so early out without any spacing leaves you prime time to get absolutely destroyed by that up smash, and that is what we saw. But man, I kind of feel for Big Higgs there. It's just so hard to play neutral right there. It really just did not feel like Big Higgs could play a whole lot of the game. Even when there's almost like a tech chase roll situation, we had like an up B like almost immediately. And all sense of advantage that Big Higgs might have gained after like clawing and gnawing for it, completely gone. All gone. And then it's back to neutral, which again, Jigglypuff can't really play. And you're going to hand it all over to Game & Watch. And that's going to be a victory here for Huggles.
We're getting a Sephiroth coming out here. I think this might be Sensational, because even though I've seen Sensational on the Falcon most of the time, I do know they have the Sephiroth in the back pocket. We'll see how this pans out. And yeah, that is Sensational. Yeah, Sensational coming out here. I like the distance. I like the ability to poke at the shield, the exact weakness we saw at the end of last game. Tracking down Game & Watch might be a little hard, but I don't think it's undoable.
Yeah, I don't think it's undoable either. I do see the speed as an issue, and I do also see kind of the coverage of the moves as an issue. I feel like Game & Watch can low profile something just like a raw forward tilt as an example, and that's something we're going to love seeing, Sephiroth using a lot in terms of neutral gameplay. It seems like it's actually kind of hard to hit Game & Watch, unless it's a hard whiff punish like we saw in the dash attack right there.
Very nice opener so far, but I like the Shadow Flare on the... actually does... I forgot about the bucket. Have to look out for that. Every time you put the Shadow Flare on, you know Huggies is going to up B way high and just absorb it.
Oh, and that'll give him something to stack up. And you might be getting slammed by a bucket without even knowing it. That's an interesting matchup interaction that I actually didn't know that you could absorb the hit later on. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, I like Seth trying to abuse the fear factor right here, knowing how scared Huggies is of just one of these hit connecting. Goes for these fares out of the up B, and really, you're not getting that guaranteed damage you could with a nair or with an up air. Instead, trying to get a read, it's not panning out well, and Huggies is paying for it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of stray hits both ways. No one has had a super solid advantage. So far, it's just, one hit. All right, reset to full stage. Right back at it. Oh, man. Look at that down smash. The shield damage right there. Well, Game & Watch still staying alive here. 101%. I don't know how easily Sephiroth can actually land a kill move here. Oh, that's a dangerous down smash, forward smash. Big damage here. Sephiroth should be able to recover very soon. There it is. But the actual killing might be a little tough here for Sephiroth, and that could be Huggies' kind of opportunity to slowly rack up percent and potentially cheese out a kill first. There's a forward tilt to catch the landing. That's going to be one stock down. Juniata only 2 stocks left. Northwood still at 6.
I'm loving the way Sensational feints. Like, throws out, like, oh, I'm going to do a dash attack, I'm going to do a dash attack, and then does a pivot forward tilt instead. Like, just switching up what they think, just playing with Huggies' expectations a lot. It means that Sensational's attacks are often quite delayed, but it hasn't really mattered that much thus far, as Huggies does have Sensational off stage. Another opportunity.
Ooh, all right. Nair forward air. Catch again with the forward air. What's the ledge option going to be? There's a down tilt. And Game Watch is going to make it back safely. There's a dash attack to get Sephiroth off stage. Are we going to see something crazy here? Oh, there is the counter. Have an up throw up air. Not quite going to hit the second.
That's the thing about
Bacon
Sephiroth.
to catch the up B. This one's rough. I can see this being a problem.
Dash attack crosses up, just throwing out the dash attack, eventually catching Sensational, going in for the button press with the up smash. Now, here's some damage. Nair, but ooh, great DI. Sensational is able to get into the stage, not away like Huggies was hoping. And now it's Huggies who's off stage, trying to recover, avoids the 2-frame and is right back into the fray. But, oh my god, just forcing Sensational into the corner.
Look at this spacing, though, by Sensational. Keeping that perfect distance for the back air is just right out of range, and eventually forcing himself closer to the corner, making Game & Watch a little more antsy, and eventually is able to land a punish, and that's going to be another stock.
2 forward tilts,
I really
2
enjoyed
kills.
the painting.
Yeah, it's honestly really refreshing to see, and Sensational was sitting there watching Big Higgs earlier, seeing how Huggies was playing around their spacing and finding ways to combat it.
Okay, jump, empty hop into forward to what a mix-up right there. That's how you know you're in your opponent's head. Dash attack for the whip punish. Tries to catch air dodge in with the back air. Doesn't quite get the spacing on it. Able to kind of recover to safety here. Always got to watch out for the invulnerability on the Game & Watch up smash. Walking and running into that earlier, absolutely devastating. Nice up throw, up air.
Right now,
Pretty much approaching that kill percent.
Chase on platform. Yeah,
I like Sephiroth's usage of counter as well to kind of defeat the approach options with bombs and bacon that usually put Game & Watch in really advantageous positions, super scary to deal with on shield. You throw out the counter, it's multi-hit at last, and has so much range that if Game & Watch tries to approach after, it doesn't matter, and there's going to be a back air to catch landing, both at 95% to close out the stock. And that's going to be first game going to Northwood. 5 stocks to none.
Yeah. Great play overall from Sensational, and I love how it evolved throughout the game too. Earlier on in the game, we saw a lot of retreating aerials, kind of just inviting them closer and closer. Huggies just wanted to get a hit so badly, and as you could see, that first stock, it was what, 90 to 12%? Like, Huggies could not get in. But then, right there at the end, while Sensational had the lead, they stopped retreating and started just having neutral aerials, just holding like a vertical line, jumping up and down using tilts when Huggies would try and go for a grounded attack, but mostly just holding this line, landing with Nair. And it was working amazingly because earlier in the set, Huggies had learned or been conditioned that you need to go to overshoots. You need to overshoot again and again and again. And then suddenly right there at the end, Sensational just stops going backwards. All of a sudden you're running into a brick wall that is the sword, and it was kind of all she wrote from there.
Yeah, the occasional counter as well. Running into the counter is something that I think Game & Watch also kind of struggled with there a couple times, right? Because you think, oh, I'm going to bacon on shield and suddenly I have some frame advantage. I'm just going to like, run up and cause a mix-up. Maybe I'm going to throw you, maybe do some extra shield damage, whatever, right? It's some standard Game & Watch neutral play with the bacon, right? And then we just have Sephiroth being like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll just throw out my down B, have it tank every hit because bacon is super light. It's definitely not breaking the counter anytime soon. And then throw back a bunch of damage instead and resetting now in Sephiroth's advantage too. The spacing and the range, I considered Game & Watch's size to be more of an issue than it ended up actually being, and Sephiroth was able to land a lot more hits than I was expecting. Sensational did a great job of keeping that space and not letting Game & Watch really get in, because I think speed is also kind of a problem, where if you're really up close in boxing, I think that is kind of something that Game & Watch is going to be winning just a little bit, and whether it's be throwing out jabs or, of course, his legendary up B. But if you keep it at the range that Sephiroth kind of wants you to be in, and only occasionally dashing in for the the dash attack, very early in the game we saw a bunch of dash up down smashes too, just to threaten shield. And I mean, there was a big percent difference, so maybe it was a bit of an ego play. Maybe they just felt like I can try and close out the stock. I'm not really sure. We didn't see any more of that after the first stock though, and instead we saw a lot more careful gameplay up until the end of the game, where then Seth was like, I really need to close this out, and that's he was able to get it, and that's going to be an entire game here for Northwood.
Yeah, frankly, fantastic stuff, and I'm excited to see what else Northwood has up their sleeve. I assume we're not going to see. Yeah, I assume we're not going to see that much of a switch. I would like to see Huggies to come in to take out Big Higgs earlier if Big Higgs does come in. But they still have, well, I mean, I've got their whole roster up here. They've got 5 on the JV roster, 5 on the varsity roster. Actually, 4 on the varsity roster. But either way,
looks like we got
roster of killers.
We got
SGPs.
So Good pop here on We Fit versus Hollow opening up again. So if they decide to throw out Big Higgs one more time, this could have been another huge momentum shift in Northwood's favor. But turns out they want to mix things up just a little bit and give SJP a chance to shine.
Well, I like the patience right there from Holo on the ledge, but SGP is also patient, doesn't overextend here, trying to control under this platform, sees the Holo is trying to go over top of it, starts a combo, but it is not safe on hit. That's going to be Holo getting some damage, holding the ledge trap, pops him up. Can they get a follow-up? No, goes for an early ledge trump, and that's going to be SGP back on stage.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what decision-making is right there. They had a great opportunity to catch an air dodge in and go for an insane punish like an up smash or a down smash, and instead opts to drop to ledge for a ledge trump that they may not be even going for, because they could have just drifted back onto stage. That was really odd choice, and not sure if that's what Hollow wants to continue going for. In general, we've seen Hollow getting clipped by a lot of soccer balls and nairs in neutral, and it's really just when Hollow runs in super hard. There's that dash attack, almost taking that stock. PI just barely saved him. Oh my goodness, that full charge neutral almost took out Ridley, and there's going to be a dash attack to close it out. Still pretty close here for Hollow, not too far behind to actually take the stock. A tipper forward, so at that range would have taken it. There's an up smash anti-air, not quite. So close.
Even with a bit of charge, that wasn't enough. WeFit is holding on here. So Good Pop is doing a great job at just throwing out option after option off ledge. People are used to WeFit doing the soccer ball off the ledge, but So Good Pop's use of Salute the Sun off the ledge too has been great for mixing up Holo. And they're eating a lot of damage because of it.
Yeah, it's Hollow really got to turn this around super quick. We have Deep Breathing on deck, 141% rage. There is the dash attack. Nice, quick, and dirty. That is it. But here, 99%. Already at 112 now, up and counting. Still extremely dangerous here for Hollow. This is quite the disadvantage to work your way up from. It's gonna be rough. There's the forwarder to catch the jump at ledge, and that's the entire stock difference now. Northwood building a lead here. Oh man, soccer ball
38%, and you roll into 58. They're comboing you from the ledge. As right now, So Good Pop pops you up onto the platform, and here we go. Holo at 84%. If an air lands, that's easily kill percent right here, and WeFit kills off the top. So be aware of that up air. But no, Holo is able to use that extra jump to get back to center stage.
There's Deep Breathing, tries to go for a punish, gets spot dodge, and backwards hit forward tilt. Instead, there's the back air. So late! And even after the air dodge, Hollow was not able to survive. And SGP is going to move on with 2 stocks here for Northwood. This is big. This is big for Northwood. Just like we saw last time with Big Higgs moving away with 2 stocks, SGP looking to make the same kind of impact here for Northwood University. This momentum is really what Juniata wants to stop early on, because otherwise you could potentially have another middling matchup that, you know, SGP is somehow going to be able to walk away from, and that's leaving you at worst, you know, 7 stocks to 3. Math is not in your favor there. So you got to stop the bleeding now. Let's see what Juniata wants to throw out in response. Not really sure if they have anything super clear cut that does insanely well. I mean, Huggies and Game & Watch, fundamentally sound character. I think most matchups you can kind of throw in Game & Watch and do okay. Worst case, I think that kind of applies here, but
I think Game & Watch is good specifically because of the chef. And not only just the chef, but the bucket. Those two in conjunction means you can bait an aggressive option with chef, force them off a ledge, and then throw out the bucket. The bucket will either reflect the soccer ball or absorb the Salute the Sun. Now, that is not a catch-all. We have seen SGP get aggressive off the ledge, but instead, we are going to be seeing Fry coming out again on the Mewtwo, which I don't mind at all. I feel like Mewtwo can, like, against the majority of characters, contest fairly strong off stage, and down smash, frighteningly fast. 2-frame option, edge contesting option, and it just kills you. Kills you dead.
Yeah, I'm just a little worried about the neutral game here because, again, Mewtwo is a little tall, a little big, and I can definitely see Mewtwo getting clipped by a lot of soccer balls, and of course getting finished off with the Salute the Sun. Again, lighter character, dies kind of early. I do think approaching might be a little tough too, because in case you're not perfectly spacing everything, WeFit doesn't have the worst out of shield options. You know, we can have like this nice, you know, nair on the shield. Ooh, this might be a button check. Seeing Fry dropping off the stage as well. Something might have gone wrong, but we will be returning to the actual match hopefully shortly. Yeah, neutral might be kind of tough. At best, Mewtwo can really space with back air and forward air, but that's not super great. Doesn't have the best shield poke, and again, doesn't even have that much range, and they're not proper disjoints either. So they can all definitely be challenged. We'll see if he wants to try jumping with Nair on shield again as a cross-up option. Definitely good on players that are unfamiliar, but kind of once you get used to the gimmick, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. So really neutral is where the bread and butter of this matchup is going to be played at. And how well they can kind of hold advantage or disadvantage. Because I feel like both these characters be kind of popping each other with 1 or 2 big hits, and then it's back to reset. Is kind of what I'm thinking. But even in that more like quote-unquote reset phase, I think that's a slight advantage, if actually more than a slight advantage to WeFit, because of Soccer Ball and Salute the Sun and Mewtwo's size and not the best speed. So overall, I'm favoring WeFit here. but we'll see what they have to show us. They're definitely going to put on something great.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're back on small battlefield. I thought maybe it was a... Okay. This is the real game. SGP going to be starting out here on this side platform. Yeah, not dropping down into the Shadow Ball.
Oh, instant salute the sun. Already 33%. Okay, shield pressure. We get a nair out of shield punish. No grab follow-up afterwards. WeFit using that superior speed. Oh, there's a dash attack. Back air. 34%. Keeping it nice and even. What's the ledge option? Going to jump out with the nair. Cover himself.
I like these pokes with the tail, though. All of them have potential to lead to big damage. But so far, SGP has always played around this like up and diagonal place, like where they're throwing out a lot of their lingering hitboxes, throwing out their projectiles, and Mewtwo really isn't contesting that with the forward tilt. And that means when you hold in like that, you're gonna be in for big damage. Right now, Fry has avoided the majority, or just hasn't taken as much damage as we saw Holo take, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's been tough. I think another problematic part of this matchup, I think, is Shadow Ball's speed. I'm realizing Shadow Ball can't really keep up. Ooh, loving the confusion there for reflection on the Soccer Ball. But Shadow Ball speed can't really keep up with either Salute the Sun or the Soccer Ball. And it's more like a preemptive spacing tool for potentially like more like a set play type option. And not the fantastic whiff punish or anything like that in a character like WeFit. And I think that makes this matchup even harder to play kind of at that long range that we've been seeing a lot.
I like this platform control. Oh, and that bravery right there, knowing that the angle is going to be too high to really connect on that.
Oh, there's Shadow Ball. Doesn't quite get something started. Oh, no. Caught by a Salute the Sun here. Looking for death. There's reverse hit of the forward air. No tech. Up B is not going to make it back. And Mewtwo is down yet another stock. Second down smash hit so far. Doesn't even feel like it's that close to killing, though. 91% here. There's a nair. Not quite able to grab a follow-up. Okay, nice reflect on the Soccer Ball. Keep him off stage. It's going to have to be an up B. Down smash doesn't quite land. Shield pressure here with Shadow Ball. Fishing for a fair and bear. Both end up missing. Man, the Soccer Ball gameplay has been fantastic from SGP's side. This is not given an opportunity for Mewtwo to really get in there and hold the ledge.
And that was a good idea from SGP, turning around, going for the back air, but that just gave Fry stage, and they ate almost 70% for it. They're at kill percent right now, combo, and it's not looking pretty for them, especially as they get buried.
Absolutely over, Miles. Man, I was kind of talking about that long-range neutral being a huge factor here, and it's just it really seemed so hard for Fry to try to find a way in at all. Getting clipped by Soccer Ball left and right, Reflex not even being super consistent at throwing it back, and of course ledge trapping was also so hard because Soccer Ball is at such a low angle that WeFit could throw it out, keep it low to the ground, even if Mewtwo reflects it. WeFit's back on ledge, no issue for him, and now it's a whiff punish because confusion is super lag. Either a whiff punish or at least a free reset to getting back onto stage. In either way, that means Mewtwo can't hold advantage, and you're going back to a neutral that you're definitely losing. Again, recipe for disaster here for Mewtwo, and SGP walks away with 2 whole stocks. I was thinking at least 1 stock would go down, right? Like, Mewtwo's got kill power, but man, that's a 2 stocks here for SGP. That is 8 stocks to 3 right now for Juniata. Even worse than I had expected.
Yeah, SGP in particular was one of the players who went up against our reigning champion Fisher College, and they were holding their own. I mean, obviously it was a tough battle. They didn't win, but they won more games than I've ever seen anyone win against Fisher College. So they were a part of that, well, up-and-coming underdog roster at the end of last season, and they've had an entire winter break to train. It's like how Steve Mains all got nerfed when school came back. Just imagine winter break.
They're back on the come up. Yeah, I remember I was scrolling through Twitter, and it was, like a hidden image, and it was someone's tweet saying, "Oh, just trying out my new character, did really well at the local." I opened the tweet, Steve in first place. And I'm like, oh, yep. Guess you had the time to pick up the Steve and drop up to or pull up to your local and grab that first place spot. It's crazy how meta shifts can happen with DLC.
Winter break buff, man. It's the winter break buff.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, they're going to need one heck of a buff right here, Juniata. We know who's probably going to come in. It's Huggies. And likely I feel like Huggies probably should have come in earlier. I think maybe they would have wanted to save them for someone else, knowing that Huggies will likely get counterpicked by the Sephiroth again. But at this point, the rest of your players are down, and I feel like Holo and Fry could have possibly held their own in another matchup, but thrown into something unfamiliar like that as two big body characters who get caught at the ledge a lot, it's going to be rough. As Huggies, the last defender of Juniata, if Huggies loses these three stocks right here, that's going to be it for Juniata. Northwood will take this 2-0 and win our crew battle for the night.
Yeah, a lot is riding on Huggy's shoulder right now. He has to get through 8 entire stocks. I think we might be button checking, or this could be the game. Either way, 8 whole stocks from fantastic players that have been absolutely mauling some of the other players here on Juniata's side. Super, super terrifying. It is really not looking super great for Huggies right now. So at this point, just got to hope for the best, do your best, and see what happens.
Catches out the aggressive buttons, but here are some damage. Tries to extend with the up B, I appreciate it, but tries to read a projectile. I do not blame Huggies for that, but it's going to bite them that time. Goes to the bucket again, but in the wrong direction. I'm liking these cross-up aerials, knowing that the out-of-shield options aren't amazing from Refit, but anti-airs are also working wonders.
Yeah, I like how Game Watch is kind of instantly reacting to any projectile startup, no matter where it is or what the angle might be, with a bucket. Like I saw, it was a soccer ball above on a platform that bounced off the platform. We still saw Game Watch sit right below with the bucket sitting ready. I think that insane reaction time is definitely coming to play. Oh man, what a down smash right there. That's not a hitbox I see super often. Lands the kill though.
And Huggies has been really good at forcing jumps from ledge with the chef. Now the question is, how are you going to convert that into big damage from here on out? Because it's gone a little bit unpunished. As Salute the Sun catches them in center stage, Huggies trying to contest.
Caught by Soccer Ball again. There's Deep Breathing right back on deck. What a forward air. Taking that stock. Bit of a DI mishap. We'll live. We'll get through it. This final hit of reverse Nair right there. Just running in, rolling with Nair. Ooh, caught by Salute the Sun though. Trying to challenge with a bit of forward air and Nair approach. There's a back air land. Soccer Ball, what's the ledge get up? Oh, the Fair's hitbox was not able to come out in time. I think that would have hit. Up tilt. Soccer Ball is going to up be at a disadvantage. Doesn't just, not a lot of damage coming out here from Huggies though. They've been doing the neutral dance for a long time now, and it's just slight chip favoring SGP.
The risk reward is getting skewed a little more in SGP's favor just due to the options Huggies is picking a lot of the time. I mean, again, Game & Watch's smash attacks, sure they have no lag, but also you can't just be throwing them out when they're right on top of you. And at least be picking up smash. As Huggies...
Yeah, it's a slower paced game. They're just kind of running circles around each other. And it really just feels like chip damage. Nothing, it doesn't even seem like it's a stray hit, really. It's just like a tiny little piece that doesn't really go anywhere. But that damage is adding up. And that's an up air to close out that stock. There's one stock left here for Juniata. While SGP has a stock of his own. Are we going to see something super crazy off stage? We got up there, up air? Okay. Soccer ball to bomb.
That gameplay right there shows me SGP is still in it. The fact that they tried to go for an early kill off stage right there, that was crucial. They still have that killer instinct. They're not just fighting to survive, they are fighting to take this stock from Huggies, and they might just get the chance here. Lands on the platform, can they convert it to more damage? No, Huggies is walling SGP out.
Oh, I saw that up smash startup. I saw it right there. Fantastic grab from SGP to keep himself alive, because that would have been really terrifying. There it is. We're going to see how he's fishing for that up smash a lot more. We're entering that kill percent. He wants to land that one stock and move on to the next. Down air. Oh, what a soccer ball. Dash attack whiff. He's been able to roll past the up smash. There's an air in. Oh, forward air. He air it.
Forward tilt. Oh, and that's going to be it. The forward tilt right there at the end. That scramble situation. They were making eggs combo. But
they
finally,
really were. I thought Huggies had such a fantastic idea. There's a perfect setup for an air dodge read. He got the air dodge. He baited it out. But then he aims the wrong way and gets whiff punish and dies off a forward tilt. It's like everything was there.
And going back before that, it was like whiffs the up smash, rolls behind, whiffs the header, and all of a sudden they're jumping and diving and weaving, and
it was spaghetti. Spaghetti dropped everywhere.
And one, it is an indicator of the fact that Huggies was fighting right there, was not giving up easy, even though they saw the comeback coming. And again, I knew that SGP was still in it. The second that offstage interaction happened, where Huggies had just lost their stock, they had retreated to the ledge. SGP tried to go off stage, and all of a sudden they got hyper aggressive, throwing out the header, trying to get like a stage spike or something into some sort of combo into a down air. Crazy amount of aggression for someone at 90% off stage against Game & Watch, but that's what you have to do. You got to put the fear factor into them. That's what SGP did. That's how they finished them off, and that is how Northwood University is going to be taking this crew battle 2-0 over Juniata.
Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to Northwood. A special congratulations to SGP for taking out all 9 stocks on Juniata's end by themselves in the second game. It's like, we saw the other 2 players get to play in the first game. Usually with, setups like this, we often see very similar openers of strong players on winning teams. And there's a good chance that sometimes your third player doesn't even get to play. But in this case, at least for me, the script was like entirely flipped, because now you take the third player and they solo the entire enemy team. Like, oh, we had this in the back the whole time. Didn't even need to use it last game. Here you go. You want it? Fine. And bam, all 9 stocks taking their undeniable MVP right there. Oh, man. That is fantastic gameplay if I've ever seen some. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to get to learn a little bit more about that. We don't know quite who yet, but we are going to get an interview from Northwood University, find out a little more of what's happening behind the scenes. So stay tuned on Esports U. We will be right back with an interview with Northwood University.
Don't go anywhere.
Because it's been co-opted to describe the NCAA's approach to student athletes being able to make endorsement money or be able to monetize any part of their name, image, and likeness. But it's been around forever, right? We've had athletes endorsing brands for over 100 years. Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees was endorsing brands 100 years ago, and it has continued onward from baseball cards all the way through now, where we have lots of different integrations of how influencers can monetize their followings. So what I would say on the traditional side is it's still a very young space. There are a lot of stories out there regarding NIL that tend to focus on the negative, or how out of control, I put in air quotes, it has gotten. But there is still a burgeoning marketplace for many more student athletes that are involved. About 17% of NCAA athletes are currently involved in NIL, but 65% more than that want to get involved and are curious how to get started. On the flip side, brands are challenged with a few different things in the space. There are 10,000 professional athletes in the United States. Once July 1st, 2021 hit, and you dump every NCAA athlete into that space, that's another 500,000. So brands that maybe didn't have a dedicated athlete strategy when there were 10,000 now have 500,000 plus that 10,000 to figure out how to activate who they are. That's a lot. I understand brands' hesitancy in some instances, but I can tell you that companies like us are on a daily basis educating brands and student athletes as to the software you can use, the types of activations you can get involved in, and how to utilize your followings, or if you don't have to or want to be a social media star, other ways in which you can monetize it. Now, I know I described that under the umbrella of the NCAA, but I see it as being no different in esports. I think there are massive opportunities for people with followings to be able to use that and connect with brands. I think a company like us can help you to do that. And then beyond that, we can make sure that those transactions are safe for you. I think there are opportunities, not just at the individual competitor level, but at the program level to have a sponsorship go to that. I'm sure some of you out there listening and watching already have deals like that in place, but I think we can continue to enhance, augment those deals and make them more comprehensive and make them, first of all, I think product deals are perfectly fine, but I think we can get beyond that and grow some of these deals to a greater extent. Paulie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, what you said is right. So I'll put it in for layman's terms here for just the esports players, because I talk to so many of our athletes that compete in our CECC series that are currently still in college. And basically when Mike Blewett says NIL, what he's referring to is just very simple. If a brand or any sort of anyone wants to use your school's name or your brand or anything with you, there is a deal for you that can be put in place, whether it's product deal, whether it's a paid endorsement. You can, whether you're a macro influencer or whether you're a micro influencer, you can be paid for your services. So most of the people, when I talk to them, most of the, I won't say people, college athletes, they are, intimidated by the word. They don't really know what it means. They've never done anything with it before. And that's what it means. Any single time a brand or anyone at all wants to use your name or do a deal with you or do some sort of activation with you or your school, that's basically what the layman's terms, the NIL meaning comes from. And it's evolving in this space. There are so many brands that want to associate with micro and macro influencers and just get people involved with their products or their services. So all of you, collegiate athletes out there that are competing in esports, not only are we trying to broker those deals, but also keep your eyes, ears open, and don't be shy or scared to take these deals, because that's what I've heard the most, is that most of the time they're just scared to take them. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're locking themselves into some agreement or terms that they're like going to give their name away or something too. So this is a really important space, and it's how you're all going to physically make money and build your brands along with company brands. So it's really important to learn. And my advice is to just get your feet wet. Don't worry about shying away. Read the contracts and take some of these deals, because growing your own brand is the future of what our industry is going to be, in my opinion.
Exactly, and if you follow in the pro space, you'll see that the pro teams are not only focusing on competitive play, but a lot of them are focusing on their brand and their cultural importance in the space. And so, one of the things that we do also is help athletes build their brand, build their following, and that's part of what Paulie and Kyler are doing on their side when we do this behind the scenes training. And so, building your brand, this is the creator economy. Anybody and everybody can be anything they want to be. And so we just really want to be the conduit that supports that across the board.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. With that said, thank you everyone for, I think, great insights in terms of, for any of you that were watching this and maybe had questions about, what is Esports U, what is CSMG, who are they, what are they doing, what are our plans, right? Well, we know we kind of tried to make a bigger splash in the spring, and we're excited to bring more stuff with you guys for the next year. But I think maybe as we close out here, I know we're slowly approaching on time then, but maybe let's go around the room with everyone here of just what's one thing that we're all excited for this next upcoming year. I know we touched on our plans and a lot of things, but if anyone had to speak, if you had to speak to just one thing of just what has you excited for us as a company, for us as the collegiate or college esports space, right? What's one thing that has all of you guys excited? And maybe we'll start with Mike, since our traditional sports guy, and we'll let Mike speak first.
Sure. So I would say many things on the traditional side, but I'll focus on esports. And I'd say the thing that I'm most excited about going forward is, after yet another year of us doing a round of events, I'm excited that more schools will understand exactly what we're doing with our regional events and culminating in CECC and getting more schools involved. I think schools will be more excited to compete in our events because we've established it over the course of a year, and I welcome any and all conversations with getting people involved.
I think for me, I'm most excited about the schools and conferences. Mike, that's amazing. And that's so exciting. I'm also excited about the brands that we're starting to be able to get involved in this. In our Commissioner's Cup in last May, we had over 14 brands, blue chip brands, participating in our event. Barbasol, Microsoft, CDW, Morgan Stanley, New Street, Air Force. And so I think brands are really starting to get excited about being involved in college esports, and we're offering them a platform that not only gives them, a big event, a big yearly event, but also regular daily programming where they can have exposure in front of this audience. that they want to build affinity for with their brand. So I'm super excited about seeing the brands get on board and help grow the space along with us. A rising tide lifts all boats, and I think that's probably one of our mottos here at CSMG and Esports U.
Welcome back, everybody, to ECAC. We're here in the conclusion of Northwood University versus Juniata, where Northwood took it 2-0. And to talk a little bit more about that, we have an interview, a very intimate interview, I've been told, with SGP and Big Higgs. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing pretty well tonight.
Yeah, definitely feeling good after all that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us which one is Big Higgs and which one of you guys is SGP?
All right, so I am SGP right over here, and
okay,
I'm Big Higgs.
Awesome. How are you guys feeling after the win tonight?
I'm glad that we were able to take the win. I almost didn't wake up for it, so I'm happy I was able to make it out here. So
yeah, we had to make a couple phone calls to try to get him awake and get him down to the lab. He was over in his dorms and his phone died, so we had to go through some third-party connections to go get him.
Whole
I
lineage.
understand.
Yep.
I understand.
So
And
you
I
guys are
gotta
coming
ask-
off. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, that facility is looking pretty nice. Is that where you all usually practice? Do you all play together from there?
Yeah, so usually throughout the day, there will be different players that come in and out for all of our games, like Call of Duty, Smash Bros, League of Legends, Rocket League, and this is kind of just a place to hang out as well. Some people come in here between classes or after matches, they come in here and just hang out and just find different things to do around the lab. Usually for Smash, we just kind of practice all the time. There's really no stopping that grind.
of course, yeah.
Understand.
True enough. So you guys are coming up as runner-ups from the circuit last season. How are you guys kind of feeling about your position here this season with a lot of returning teams, some new faces, new players, and everything like that? What are your kind of expectations and goals set for yourselves this season?
So pretty much it's really good to see all the other teams. Like some people will play. We had a match recently where we played a group in person actually, and I'm just really excited to play the same teams again, make more friends along the way, and hopefully get another win.
That's awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Loving the energy, loving the positivity. Let's talk about some of the games, right? Going into game one, we had Big Higgs open up against Ridley and do pretty well, right? And then also playing up against Mewtwo, which looking at it kind of defensively and by their stats, right? They're kind of, taller characters that are on the lighter end, but still like pretty easy combo food. How did you kind of approach those matchups? Did you see them as something somewhat similar, or did you have kind of a different way you want to play versus Ridley compared to Mewtwo?
So my first thought going into Ridley was I need to figure out how they're playing their neutral. I need to know if they are going to try to approach me with their side B, grab me, and just drag me off the stage, or if they're going to send out a bunch of fireballs. And then I had to find a way to play around that. Once I figured that out, it was kind of just play a little bit in the air, just kind of feel out and find my openings. And once I found my openings, I tried my hardest to capitalize off of those, and I was able to. But of course, it's always a little nerve-wracking going into every matchup, not knowing what to expect, and also as a character that dies at 30% and that I can't really do much about. It was kind of the same way going up against Mewtwo. I needed to figure out how they were going to use their Shadow Ball and try to find ways around that. I also needed to figure out how they were going to time their jumps off stage so I would be able to punish their recovery options. So that took a little bit of thinking too. Definitely was able to figure that one out, and I was able to capitalize off of that. There were a couple of combos that I was looking for to get a nice little spicy rest, but I wasn't really able to find very many of those. I know I had an up air rest, and then I had a roll read, but I mean, they're pretty nice.
I saw 1 pound you hit at like 28%, and I had my fingers crossed. I'm like, pound rest. I saw it, but you played it safe. I respect the safe gameplay, but I felt it in my soul.
Oh yeah, there is a combo that I haven't seen anybody else use. It's one of the things that I feature on my TikTok page, and a lot of people don't really think it's true until I have to prove it to them. It's a pound down air back air rest. And it's one of those things that nobody's ever heard of or nobody's ever seen or labbed out. But it's super situational. It looks super cool. And I thought I was going to get one today, but the angle wasn't quite right.
Shame, a shame. And SGP, moving on to the second round, you had kind of a clean sweep there. So I've got to ask, first of all, were you paying attention? Were you watching in that initial game?
Do you mean the first game?
Yes.
Okay, so I was watching a little bit. It was pretty much me able to use the first game to be able to adapt easier against these players. They played really well against me from the start, and I was luckily able to adapt and learn, especially off of jump habits, to be able to take the wins that I was able to. And that's pretty much the only reason I was able to win with one stock left.
Yeah, and that one stock, going into that scramble situation at the end, I want to ask, what was the energy like in the room? What was the energy like in you as you were both just trying to get that last hit?
Yeah, it was pretty much just me focusing as much as I can with Big Higgs and another player here looking at the stream and hoping for the win also. Now I was able to clutch it out, so that's all that matters.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. And starting to wrap things up, is there anyone you want to shout out? Anything you want to shout out? Any perhaps social media or
anything?
Can we
hear
like
the Higgs talk? Can we get a little?
So on TikTok, you can find me at Big Higgs. Big shout out to Coach Jacob too.
Oh yeah,
for making sure that we're all down in the lab and getting our stuff done. Anything you got?
Just at SoGoodPop on Twitter.
Sick.
Nice.
Good to hear it. And
thank you guys
I
so
wish
much.
Thank you guys.
It was really nice talking to you guys.
All right, and with that, we are going to start wrapping things up. Thank you all so much for watching ECAC on Esports U. If you like what you saw here, good news for you. 8 p.m. EST every single day of the week. There is more matches, more gameplay. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have Valorant at 8 p.m. And hey, we got my homeschool Stockton going up there, so you better be there for that Valorant stream tomorrow. But for now, that's all she wrote for us. I've been Keel Miles. This has been Combo. We hope you all have a wonderful night.
For all parties involved.
Yeah, I agree there. And I guess for me, obviously always, seeing the collegiate esports space elevate, coming from competing, this didn't exist when I was competing, and just to see it now in literally within the last 5 years probably really come to fruition and start just blossomed out of nowhere, and now becoming a space and seeing everyone, schools, players, productions, companies all elevate together has been really, really nice to see. But if I was the most excited for one thing, it would probably be the city where we're going to land for CC23. I'm really excited to know where we're going to be. There's a lot of great cities. I mean, I personally would love for it to come to New York, despite whether we got a positive bid or not. I want it to come to New York, but I just think the atmosphere in New York when you throw an event here is just super magical, especially in the summertime. But either way, I'm really excited to see where it lands. Tons of great cities, tons of great opportunities, and yeah, who knows? And I think that's going to be the most exciting process for me.
Absolutely. I won't speak to anything. I think I'm filling Paulie's job on this one because Paulie's more a panelist than this one. So, normally Paulie's the host, and I don't know. I think me personally, I'll just say something real quick. I'm just excited to keep telling your stories. If you're a student, if you're a program, let me know. Let us, reach out to us. We just ultimately at the end of the day, we want to tell your story, and I think that's what has me most excited because now I think we're getting to a point where people know us. I hope you guys trust us, and and we just want to keep expanding and growing the space. So with that, Paulie, I won't make you do the weird thing where you got to toss to yourself, unless you want to do you Actually, you might have a way of doing this. Let's test it. Yeah. Okay.
All right,
how do you want to throw yourself here?
Well, that's going to conclude here the future of collegiate with CSMG and Esports U. Thank you so much to Angela, Mike Blewett, and Kyler Tandle for hosting our panel. And now back to myself for the day 3 of the CSMG Coaches and Director Summit 2022.
https://twitter.com/Septilence. Don't put that in. I'll get in trouble. So that's That's worth it. Did I get too close to the camera on that one? A little bit too close. Should I? Oh, should I back up a little bit? Okay, sorry about that. My bad. I've been awake for probably close to 32 hours. Like, I have to like hold my keyboard like the normal way, because if I do it, I feel like I have arthritis and I hold my keyboard like that. It blows my mind. I can never do that. Like, this guy right here, he's got his keyboard like off at an angle. His isn't that extreme. There's a kid all the way down on the far end who has his keyboard all the way at like a horizontal.
That's really cool.
They're gonna be at that table right over there.
Public information?
Oh, I don't know. But this isn't live, so it doesn't matter.
It's not live, but like you and I know.
Yeah, we know.
I'm not gonna tweet it.
Awesome. What game do you play?
Smash Bros.
Who do you play? Is it embarrassing? Is it like Villager?
Yeah.
Is it Villager? Am I spot on? Oh my god. Is it the Ice Climbers?
No.
Is it Game & Watch?
No.
Is it Pichu?
No.
Is it Wario?
No.
I can keep going. I think I can name every character in the game. Is it, did I say the Ice Climbers already?
Yeah, you said them.
Is it them? No. Is it them a second time?
No.
Okay, all right. Oh, is it one of the Links?
Yes, it is.
Is it Toon Link?
It is.
Oh, that is pretty embarrassing. That is rough. Who do you play?
I'll give you $20 if you guess correctly right now.
First try? Give me a single hint.
It's an obscure character.
Obscure character.
Not played very often.
Is it Wii Fit Trainer?
Oh my god! Oh my.
I'm the interviewer for a reason, baby. I do what I do. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and I forgot already. Are you all lying to me? Am I being gaslit? No. Bowser Jr., Wii Fit, and you told me already. Oh, Toon Link. Yep. Where's my main support at? Who are we playing this weekend?
A lot of Brig.
A lot of Brig, really?
Brig Lucio, probably.
Brig Lucio, really? I shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want to give all your strategies. It's over-under?
What do you mean over-under?
Like, do we think we're going to podium? Do we think we're going to come in last place?
Not last place.
Not last place.
Certainly not last.
What about like 5th place?
That's doable.
That's doable? That's winnable? 3rd place? That's where things get dicey?
That's very doable.
Okay.
First place? That's very doable.
First place, very doable. Love it. That's the mindset. That's what he loves to hear. Yeah. Oh my god. Hold on. Cut the cameras. Well, who are you? Hello. Oh my god. I saw you earlier. I saw the back of your shirt. And I was like, I know that name. I know him. It's a quick play game. They Q-sniped each other at land. I thought it was a scrim. It's just unlucky. Are you actually a Villager player?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Villager being notably worse in Smash Ultimate than they were in Smash 4?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know? You never played Smash 4?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Nobody's gonna hold that against you. Now, who do you play?
I play Robin.
Okay, wow. Did you know Robin has the lowest pick rate in the game?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Come on, the LEDs, it looks just like Samus.
Huh?
Do you disagree?
I guess I can see
The Samus vibe. Show the controller to the camera. We're interviewing. This is recording, by the way. Surprise.
Not my controller.
Who do you play?
I play Peach.
Oh, wow. I like that. Who do you play?
I play the Shotos, mostly Kazi.
No, you lose against Kirby. That's just like a statistic.